So it's been a long time coming, but I finally want to be able to talk to you all about fights in PvP in Sea of Thieves. More specifically, decision making. Many people will tell you a fundamental way of approach, and while they may not entirely be wrong, I find that an understanding of how and why choices and decisions are made enable you to become the best PvPer you can be. When approaching PvP in any event, it's always best to consider the circumstance. Not all PvP fights are going to be the same, and therefore it wouldn't make much sense to approach them the same either. Take this fight as an example. We have a brig that's pulled up attempting to steal our Flameheart event from under us. While we definitely don't want to be caught in a broadside, we do have to take into account all of the ghost boats that are in play. As you can see, I could have chosen to position myself to traditionally fire my cannons on them, but seeing they plan to turn out of the event, I take the opportunity to cannon over and anchor their ship instead. I do this for a few reasons, of course. First of all, an anchored ship is always a vulnerable ship. A non-moving target is very easy to hit and, more importantly, in danger of being hit, more so when it's anchored in the middle of a Flameheart event. What this means is that I give my crewmate the opportunity to sail out of the potentially vulnerable situation while simultaneously setting the brig up to be bombarded by the ghost ships patrolling the anchor point. This, in turn, uses the environment to our advantage and essentially fills in as an extra crewmate to even the odds against the brig. Beyond that, the boarder still has the job of controlling the boat, slaying the entire ship out, buying enough time by being a nuisance, giving the ghost ships around us time to sink them, or having a crewmate roll up to do the same are all viable choices that can be made to secure the victory. After you successfully sink the enemy boat, always be mindful of backspawns. A backspawn is when a crew member from the enemy ship respawns after their boat has sank for a last-ditch effort to make their stand against you. The enemy's mermaid will only appear once their ship has fully disappeared and will appear directly above where that happens. After you kill all the members, you'll see the mermaid swim down and disappear, so always keep your eyes peeled for anyone that may come back. Lastly, we have the community favorite alliances. Admittedly, these guys get a bad rep, though for many, it does come with good reason. Alliances offer the promise of help in exchange for a cut in the loot. Now that seems simple enough until you find out that only the person turning in that loot will get the full amount for it. Everybody else receives 50%. This inherently breeds betrayal and ultimately becomes a test of almost everything you've ever learned in Sea of Thieves. While the prospect may seem reasonable enough, even welcoming to the solo slooper looking for a hand, you should always maintain situational awareness and caution. It will always be in your best interest if you choose to alliance at all to only do so if you are prepared to accept betrayal that often comes with it. Otherwise, allowing anyone to fly the alliance flag long enough to get in close may seek to bamboozle and take advantage of the opportunity you gave them, losing any hard work you might have done. While people can always be helpful, they are also always your biggest threat. Unless you're this guy, who, funny enough, seems to only be a threat to himself. Now that you're one step closer to being a true pirate legend, it's time you go out there and test your mettle with what you've learned. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can always be notified of any upcoming videos. We stream regularly on Twitch at twitch.tv/CopiousJack with all our links located down below. And remember,
it's not about the gold, it's about the glory.